Alright gamers, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down how to play support in Rainbow Six Siege. Alright, so if you saw my latest tip video breaking down all the roles in competitive play, you'll have a better understanding of what a support player is. But your support player is basically, well, your players, because there's usually at least two, are the ones that usually drone in the entries, try and get the wall, and then try and plant the diffuser. So like I just said, they get the wall, so that's obviously going to be Thatcher, and then your hard breaches, so Thermite, Hibana, and Maverick. Your hard support's going to play the hard breach, and then your soft support or normal support will just play the Thatcher, usually exclusively just play Thatcher. If Thatcher's banned, of course, it's going to be up to the team, depending on what operator you'd like to support, like switch them with, whether it be a Twitch to get the bandit batteries or whatever, a Nomad, Gridlock, Monty, Capital, whatever it is. So those are the operators you will play, and we're just going to be breaking down things you should be doing during the round as a support player. So as a support player, considering that you drone in lots of your entries, you're going to be wanting to save your drone, either putting it at a spot that you can easily get to keep it safe, or bringing it back to your spawn. So, like I just said, you drone in your entries, so that's going to take some communication with your team. Let's say you want to enter into stock, which is the room over there, like your Ash or Zofia. So you're going to drone them in. You're going to, obviously, like I said, just drone them in. And what is very important, I see a lot of support players do wrong, whether it be in ranked or just in general, or just anybody that's droning, is you either, if you're droning somebody in, you want them to be close to your drone so that the intel you receive is fresh. And then as the person following the drone, you want to be about a room behind them. So as I drone stock, our Ash player is going to want to be outside stock. Once I say stock is clear, she's going to come into stock. Lounge is clear, she can come into lounge, and so forth, so that the intel she gets is fresh. What you want to avoid happening is you drone out stock, you drone out lounge, you drone out garage, you drone out secret, you drone out all of these rooms for like 40 seconds, and then you move in. Because you only drone stock and lounge, you droned that 30 seconds ago. That's plenty of time for somebody in bedroom to get all the way down here and catch you off guard, catch your Ash off guard, and then they'll blame you like, hey, you just droned this, you misdroned it. When in reality, if the Ash was following the drone, or if you just droned a room or two ahead, moved up, controlled the area, then droned some more, you would avoid that whole issue of being snuck up on because the intel you get is happened too long ago. So that covers the whole droning aspect, and then obviously getting the wall. It's kind of hard to do with one person, but the aspect is it's just your hard breach and your Thatcher. You're going to want to get the wall open, so we're just going to pretend they're in cache. Want to try and get the wall open. You have this all open, and then what I like to do with my second drone, I use one drone to drone in our entries, then with my second one, I will drone into site. When you're droning an area, whether it be like your entry, like down in bar or stock or whatever, you basically want to try face checking with your drone, because this is basically a free kill. If you can drone really cautiously and see where anybody is, like let's say, oh, there's a guy behind bar on their cam, and if your Ash is following your drone correctly and just in that doorway, so you can get a free kill rather than walking by the guy in bar. And then if your drone gets shot, you lose your intel. The most annoying thing to me is having both of my drones destroyed, because for the rest of the round, I'll have no intel. I won't be able to tell if there's somebody up the stairs, down the stairs, right here behind this like water fountain thing, in the bathroom. It's very, very angst-inducing, anxiety-inducing. So you want to be very cautious with your drones, kind of face checking, quick little scans, and then quick scans. So because if you just throw your drone out here, it's stuck in the middle of the room. It can just easily get shot if there is somebody on those stairs. Then once your drone gets shot, you lose this intel and you don't know where they went. As opposed to if you quickly drone it, you like kind of face check it. Oh, you see a guy on stairs, you jump back and you play it safe that way. That's better. But back to droning the site upstairs, you're going to want to basically do the same thing just for the site. And you're going to want to know the default plant spots. So for this site, for cash, what people would want to do is either watch, there's usually going to be a dock playing rafters, holding down bottom garage with an ACOG. You're either going to want to hold, because there'll usually be a we'll just make this. There'll be like a rotate right here. So you're either going to have one person on rappel watching the rotate, so dock can't just walk up. And then you're going to probably have somebody watching the door, watching all of this area. So the planter planting on the default spot, which is right here, because the bomb would be right here, can't get swung on from the door, the other door from the rotate. Ideally, you want to clear this out and then just hold a crossfire through the site. But that being said, there you sometimes may be a pre-placed nitro cell downstairs in lounge, which is right here. So you're gonna want to be careful. Lots of teams will know where that is. Sometimes what I like to do is kind of do like an off plant right here against this wall. Have somebody, one of my teammates, watching this door, watching that like, over me as I'm planting, to watch so I don't get swung on. So that's very important for this. Knowing when to plant, knowing where to plant. Once you get the wall open and you drone sight and you find out that, hey, there's only one guy in cash, as the guy with the diffuser, you gotta call out, okay, let's say we have, I'm Thermite, let's say we have our Thatcher. Thatcher, watch my door, watch my cash door swing. And then once they are like, all right, bet, you run in and you plant. I like having the diffuser a lot because I don't have a lot of fear. I'll just run in and plant that hoe no matter what's happening. Because if you see an opportunity as a planter, you're gonna wanna take it before the defense can collapse back onto the site, whether it be coming up garage, coming through construction, and take away the opportunity to plant. All of this is kind of just game sense that develops over time of, oh, I should have planted then. Oh, I should have stuck that plant. Whatever it may be. One thing I see a lot of people end up messing up is when there's like 10 seconds left. If it's below, once you get into like below 20 seconds, you either have to stick the diffuser like the whole 7 seconds, or you have to fake it. Because once you get to like 9 or 10 seconds, then you're really stuck. Because if you try and plant it, you get halfway through, then you have about 5 seconds left. And if you don't stick it, you're going to have to push the guy no matter where they be. Or you're going to have to end up sticking it very close to where there's zeros on the clock, or even past zeros on the clock, where there's nothing you can do. You literally just have to sit here completely still planting the diffuser, and the defender can just walk in and get a free kill. So it's all just game sense, doing it more and more, and then you'll eventually get better with it, just like anything in this game. So kind of just a recap, droning, you want to, this droning is very important, very, very important to know your callouts very quickly, or be in giving descriptive callouts. So let's say I'm droning cash, right? If you don't want to just say in cash, let's say there's a defender right here behind the green box where the bomb would be. I like saying either on green box or on bomb. There's usually a rotate onto red. You could say behind the cash table, behind the box in construction, behind stacks in construction, as opposed to just saying construction. Or like if I'm pushing and somebody just says cash, well then I have to check here. I have to check here, down there, up here, back here, behind this table, all around to this corner. Rather, if they just say behind the cash table, I can just push in and I know exactly where they would be. It's a lot more convenient and a lot easier if you're pushing in. So that's just another thing. All this comes with time, developing over time. I have about probably 60 hours combined between Thermite and Thatcher. So definitely that comes with a lot of experience. And then as I'm on this table, I didn't even mean to talk about this, but this is a good point to know. If they have a pulse, if they have somebody with nitro cells, if you've droned correctly and you can tell, okay, there's somebody with a nitro cell like a Mozzie, Valk, or Bandit playing on the first floor, this would be in stock down here, right where we first came in. If you know they have somebody like that, you're not going to want to plant on the floor, because you can get nitro celled and you will end up losing the round. You're going to want to hop up on something, whether it be like the green box, on this table, whatever it may be. Some places are going to be tougher too, and it's obviously going to be difficult if it's like a 4v4 and it's like this amount of time left, a minute 20, you don't have the full site on lock. This is when it really comes to, like, if there's a rotate here, holding that rotate and holding this door, and then you should be safe. It all just, planting really is about intel and then team coordination. Because if you just go rushing in without communicating, hey, I need you to watch this door, or like watch this door, watch this rotate, you will end up dying because your teammate doesn't know, oh, I should have been watching that. Because most of the time, they won't know what you're thinking, so you're going to have to communicate that. Of course, it's obviously better to have somebody that just does know, but it is more difficult, and the communication is key in this game. As for support on defense, this is where it gets a little more complex, because it's not just like, oh, hard breach and Thatcher for support. It really depends on your strat. Usually I always play smoke, so smoke's the support. Pretty much lots of 3 armors, so like Echo, Maestro, Doc. Doc's kind of like a frag though, because he has the ACOG. So Echo, Maestro, Mira, any of the anti-breaches, unless you're like roaming with Bandit, Cade. It really just depends on the strategy, because you can have a Doc play very aggressive and kind of almost play like a roamer, or you can have a Doc that sits on site behind a shield and watches an angle. So it's all very strat dependent. I'd say one of the most definite lockdown smokes, one of like the most prominent supports for defense is definitely smoke, and I'd say Cade, because like you can play aggressive with all these other operators. Cade is kind of like stuck to, not even Cade, I'll just say smoke. It really just depends on your strategy and how you play it. You can roam with Castle, you can hold site with Castle. Not really with Echo, but like with Maestro, with literally any operator, you can either play on site or roam off site. So it all just depends on the strategy, but I'm gonna just kind of do this as a smoke. This is gonna be an anchoring, almost. Anchor is probably like the best way to say it for support on defense. Okay, so for my anchoring guide, we're gonna be Cash again, and I kind of have like the default setup I do, minus reinforcements. So let's say the wall gets opened. This is how I decided to open it. Don't ask. It'd be wider, so let's just open it up a little bit more. Okay, so knowing that the wall is open, well, first off, let's just take a step back to the attacker's push. Usually you can get a pretty big, you can kind of tell where they're pushing off of your intel and your roamers. If you have a roamer in bedroom and they're getting pushed, it's probably going to be a construction take. If your Doc is getting pressured in garage, it's probably going to be a main wall take. Of course, teams will also push both. They'll bring a Hibana and a Thermite and push both sides. So it really does depend. But as an anchor, you're going to need to get that information and you're going to need to react with it. So as an anchor, and this is what a lot of people struggle with in my opinion, you do not want to peek. Even myself, I struggle sometimes, especially playing smoke. The SMG-11 is not the best gun to be contesting somebody like Zofia on rappel right there. So anchoring, you don't really want to peek too much, especially outside, because swinging out here, there can be somebody there, up here, right there, close on this window, all the way back there. There can be countless angles. So that's like swinging a breach or just peeking a room without any intel. If you get a call like, hey, somebody's right on that door watching through the breach, or like watching from the window through to the balcony, then it's okay to swing if it's a guaranteed kill or as close as it can be to guaranteed. You mainly are going to be holding angles like, oh, on this door, or even I like shields the most because you can see through them. So if somebody's pushing in, you can pop out and then just shoot. My recoil control is supreme. And then it's mainly just like I just said, going to be holding angles. With smoke, it's going to be trying to deny the plant. And it's kind of straightforward. Just don't peek, hold an angle, wait for them to plant. It's going to, like I just said, with planting, it's going to take some game sense to know when to plant. It's going to take some game sense to know when they're, like, the same sense to know when they're not planting, to know when they're fake planting. If there's 2 minutes left and you hear them plant, it could be a fake. The best tip that I've learned is if they're planting, you don't need to run up and try and contest because they'll hop off the plant and shoot you. Just quickly, or maybe not even, just through a wall, just shoot at them. Because the sound of the bullets coming at them is going to scare them enough to get off the plant and maybe think, oh, they're pushing me. They're going to try and swing me. You just buy yourself a few extra seconds, make them hop off of the plant, and that's kind of it, to be honest. Hold an angle, don't peek too much. Of course, like I said, if there's a guaranteed kill or the closest thing to a guaranteed kill, swing. I mean, like with precautions, of course. You don't want to be swinging everything because you will die. It happens even if you don't swing. It's all about game sense, pretty much, learning when they're planting, learning when they're fanking, and that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I do have a smoke tutorial if you want to learn more about that. I will be making other and a Mira tutorial. She's a good anchor. I will be making other operator guides. Let me know who you want. I plan on making one on like Cade, Maestro, pretty much everybody. Even roamers like Jaeger, Vigil, whatever it may be. And attackers, you know, just might as well throw that out there. But thank you for watching. We will be coming back with a video soon. I stream every day, link in description below. Thank you for watching, and peace out, gamers.